And here we are.
Love
Here we are.
music.
Hello.
It is so hey, what we're about to talk about.
Yes, it is so relaxing.
It is.
It is. I love it. And
It's
they couldn't have picked a better couldn't pick a better intro for this. Seriously. Well, hi
agreed.
everybody. This is Faith Loving Coffee. I'm Trish,
And Jamie.
and we are here for you. And of course, you guys, coffee. Don't forget the coffee, y'all. I'm sipping on some decaf because I had a full caffeinated cup a little bit earlier.
Me.
So this is decaf, but it is still so good. But
And
there,
then
I
okay,
don't know, huh?
here's mine,
Woohoo! For
but
the listeners.
it is um sugar-free tea
Oh,
this
yum.
time. This time.
Okay. Hey, as long as it's a beverage and it's your favorite beverage, I
Yeah,
prefer coffee.
me
You
too.
know,
Me too. Yes.
But I know it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, Eastern time. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon there in Texas or Central time.
Yeah.
So I know that it's a little bit late for some of us to be having some, um,
Some
caffeine because we'd be
coffee.
bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, yeah. But, now that I think about it, I have this tea, but I could have put just a little bit of coffee, and it probably would have been the same caffeine intake.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably. Oh, guys, I don't know about y'all, but man, we had some strong storms come in yesterday, and it was just a blah day. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so,
It's been like that
but
here too.
but it is.
Yeah.
It was sunnier earlier today, and of course, they said it's partly cloudy, and it's true that the word's partly cloudy now. But I'm in North Georgia, and my sister's in very South Texas now.
Yes.
Just like we had or what had said last week. When I did the podcast on my own, which was amazing. Everybody is going through, new chapters in their life, and Jamie is embarking on her new chapter right now.
Mhm.
So kudos to my sister because it's going to be a journey. It is going
Yes.
to be a journey, and we are
Agree.
here
Agree.
for it, and we are here to, we're here for it. We're here to help her
Agree.
through it.
Yes.
Yes. If y'all
And
have
this
any,
this week, no tears. Last week there were some tears because anytime you make changes, it can
yes,
be hard. So yeah,
yes.
no tears today, y'all. Yay.
But I will tell you this. I mean, not just for my sister, but for any of you that are experiencing a big change in your life, you're stronger than you think you are.
Yes.
Trust me, you are. Just
Yeah.
put your faith in God, pray, and He will be there in
Oh,
ways
yeah.
that you can't even imagine. So,
Absolutely.
indeed. So,
Absolutely.
let's get on with this particular subject. And
Yes. I love
uh,
that. This was actually, you guys, the one that was supposed to be last Sunday. But because I was in transition to my new location, Trish, my sister, got on and did a whole lovely podcast for all of us going through things. Um, so I'm excited for this one because it kind of ties into when you are going through things to just kind of sit back and pause for a minute. And then my sister has some great, great things to share. I mean, me too, but like this topic, she's very familiar with when it comes to this, like meditation practices. And we'll get into it, but I really like this one, especially because May is, um, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Is Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm so sorry, I, like, lost track for a second. Mental Health Awareness Month. So this hopefully will help too with that.
oh yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. So this. And by the way, before we get any further, May the 4th be with y'all. I
Ah,
am a
yes,
geek. I am a geek and a nerd. Okay, y'all.
you can't forget about that. Oh my
Woo!
gosh.
So I just had to say that because
That is
that's
so cool.
exactly. Yep. Today's May the
Yeah,
4th, so May the 4th be with you all. But today
absolutely.
is all about mindfulness and meditation practices. So when we think about mindfulness, what do we think about? Listen, when I was doing health coaching training, this was a big topic for us. And I never knew that mindfulness could take on so many different levels of just being present and we're talking about being present in all things. Okay. Um, so mindfulness really is it's simply just being fully present with yourself, the moment, God, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moment. So we were talking even about mindful. This one really got me. I was like, what? But it is so true. Mindfulness when you're eating, like every bite that you take, that you savor every thing that is going on in your mouth, what feeling
Okay.
you have, how, the food was made, what, the hands that prepped it, the spices that are just moving around in there.
Yeah.
And they said like every bite that you take should take you at least 20 seconds to chew and absorb and then, swallow. But in that 20 seconds, you could be thinking about, the feelings that you're having, like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever, or I could use a little bit more salt, that kind of thing. But like being really mindful of what is going into your body. And I thought that had such a big impact. And I'm like, it's been a minute since I've been in health coaching, because I got my certification a long time ago. But I don't do that. I don't do that. And this was a big reminder to slow down and actually kind of do those things, like to be
Yeah.
really present in the moment of what you are doing. And
Yeah.
and think about how does it serve you, you know?
Wow.
Um, but another big thing that we were talking about too, or in the practice of mindfulness and meditation, breathing is a very big thing. Actually, when you think about it, breathing is a big part of what we do. And of course, we have to do this, like, fills our lungs and everything, right? Every day.
Every
But
day.
when you're talking about women who are in labor, how breath is so important
Yeah.
for that labor to go through.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you're doing exercise, how important it is to continue breathing while you are, doing your squats, or you're running, or you're doing,
Yeah.
whatever exercise that you're doing.
Yeah.
How breath work is so important in that.
Mhm.
But
And
now, I'm
if you're
sorry.
a if you're a teacher and you're in a classroom with some kids who are having
Yes.
struggles, we as teachers tell them, "Breathe, breathe,
Mhm.
just breathe in and now out." Like, so, yes, it works in so many aspects of life. Even teachers tell
Which
their
is funny
students.
that you say that, because as a teacher, when you're telling a child to breathe, you find yourself breathing with them. Like,
Same, yes.
let's do this together and then breathe out. Okay. So not only is the child benefiting from this, but the teacher is benefiting from this too, because it kind of
Absolutely.
gives them a small break,
A moment, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I
But
love
there was a certain technique that Dr. Andrew Weil, I think his name it's Weil,
I think
Weil,
so.
and Dr. Andrew Weil. He actually came up with this cadence for breath that was really cool. And he was one of the guest speakers at during my time while I was doing health coaching classes. And he came in, and I was just really impressed by him, and I started following him. And really jovial guy. But he has his breath work that is just amazing. And he had one technique that it is like it's a 4-7-8 technique. So in other words,
Okay.
you would inhale for 4 seconds, hold that breath for 7 seconds, and then exhale slowly for 8 seconds.
Right, okay.
Mhm. Yes.
Mm,
So the benefits of this, so the benefits of just mindfulness, but also when you do your breath work, and is it, it reduces anxiety, improves emotional regulation, it strengthens our spiritual focus if you are in that meditation state.
mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Mhm.
but this actually helps you to do that. And we can do that in a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
but
No, I
let's
love
just
that.
keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But this actually helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So, and that creates a natural calm, and it resets the body and the mind. So when you do this,
Nice.
we can go ahead and do this later, and, before we end the session,
I
and
like
then we
that.
can do this together.
I like that.
So,
Because
and then
I
if you
don't
want to,
do that enough.
I don't think any of us do.
We don't
I
stop to breathe like that.
No, we really don't. And
Maybe in
Just like
traffic. In traffic, you find yourself,
I don't know. In
"Mm,
traffic, I'm like, I mean, I'm tense. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want anybody to hit
well,
me. I don't wanna hit
yeah,
anybody." I mean,
true." But
and that's
sometimes I'm
really
sitting there like,
woo. But
"This
after
person."
that, you'd be like,
Yeah, once you come out of it, for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
yes,
you do
or
probably take
sit
a
in your
breath.
driveway as soon as you get home and just do that really quick technique. So, you know, but you don't want to do it like this is supposed to help reset that. But I think he says you don't want to do it more than 4 times, because then you can start getting heady and stuff like that because
Mm.
it really puts you into a relaxed state. So,
Mm.
just keep that in mind.
I li
But
It's easy to remember too, though, 4-7-8.
yeah.
4-7-8. Like you said, inhale, and then, that's 4-7-8
Mhm.
is easy to remember.
Yep, and you wanna make sure that when you inhale again, we'll go through this a little bit
Yeah,
later,
yeah,
but you wanna do it not only with your lungs, but with your diaphragm. You want everything to fill,
the whole
okay?
thing.
You
Okay.
want the whole thing to fill. So you want your
I'm
whole
excited.
body to fill.
I'm excited.
Ah, but, anyway, like I was telling, Jamie, we could always use different kinds of things to help you, like, reset during your day because some of us are just on the go all the time,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And my husband actually turned me on to this Pomodoro effect. It's where you work or do something for 25 minutes and then you take 5 minutes and do absolutely nothing, or you don't go on any kind of technology at all. You just either stare into space, you can exercise, you can do whatever for 5 minutes, but you are not allowed to be on technology in that amount of time. So, and then
Wow.
after that, you can reset for another 25 minutes and continue doing that throughout your day. Now, some people, I mean, I think there's something else like there's a 20-minute something, and then, but it's something that some people have to be really disciplined because it only gives you like a 4 hour window to sleep. But then you take tiny naps during the day. I'm not the kind of person who can do that. I am not. I've got to have my 8 hours. I mean, I have got to have my 8 hours. So it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if I go to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning or if I go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night. I have to wake up 8 hours after the time that I fall asleep. Otherwise,
yeah,
I'm done for. I
yeah,
don't know
and
about you.
I'm not a tiny nap person. That tiny naps don't go, what does that even mean? For me, a nap is like 2 hours. It's a full-on
Siesta.
sleep. Yeah, it's a full-on sleep. When people say a cat nap, oh, no, no, that's not me. So, I'm
No.
with you. I have to have, like, a good straight amount of sleep,
Yeah, I do
but those
too.
people
I
who
have,
can do that, that's cool.
yeah. I mean, I've
More
known
power to
Matt to
y'all.
do that too. And he wakes up like at 6:45 in the morning, go to the gym every morning. I'm like, wow, you just came to bed at 1 o'clock.
Mm,
Like he'll slip into bed at 1 o'clock. Like he's been
yeah,
downstairs, but then he may have fallen asleep
yeah,
downstairs or something, but still, and you're like, and then he'll say,
but I agree.
Alexa, set the alarm for 6:45. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that person either. Mm,
I'm like, just give me 15 more minutes, 15 more minutes. So, but yeah, those are simple ways to do that. And we, like I was telling, well, no, I haven't talked to her about this either. These are meant to be on the fly, on the go, raw, real, that kind of thing. But when we talk about mindfulness can also be about, like, let's say, for instance, you are going to your kids' soccer game or their basketball game or whatever game that you've got.
yeah,
I find that when people do that, and I do not, when I'm at the soccer game or whatever, I do not have my phone out. I'm watching my kid. So I see a lot of parents have their phone out and doing stuff. And that's a distraction. So your phone is a big distraction in your life. I know that some of us need it, that kind of thing, or maybe to pass
yeah,
the time or whatever. But remember the days when we didn't even have a phone. And the only thing to do was to watch your kid as they were, going across the field or going to go make that, go to make that dunk or whatever that
yeah,
they were doing. And then if your face was in a phone and you missed it, that's a moment that you missed.
yeah,
So when you talk about mindfulness, this actually is being present in whatever that you are doing.
yeah.
So that's about also being intentional. So those two are great together, being
Mhm.
intentional and being mindful.
Yeah.
So when you're doing something, you want to make sure, or when you promise that you're going to be somewhere or promise that you're going to do something, you want to be sure that you're there to be, that you're intentionally there to pay attention to what is happening at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I think that's a good definition of mindfulness too, don't you think?
Yeah. But I also like that, um, whatever you called it that Matt has you doing, or like potentially doing the 5
The
minutes of like,
Pomodoro.
yeah, no technology. You just
Hmm.
stare off into space and just, oh, get your life together for 5 minutes or whatever. Um,
Right.
but at the same time, those people you're talking about at these activities for their kids on their phones and stuff, I was always one of those moms that was like recording extra stuff that was unnecessary. Looking back now, I have found some old band videos of Devin, and I'm like, wow, that was completely unnecessary. But my phone was not on anything else but what was going on, right? So I
Yes.
hope that people know, that take this into consideration, like be there, take videos, take pictures of just whatever, because you'll look back later and be like, man, I was really up in that band competition. I was really up in that, like halftime show,
Hmm.
um, and so I agree that mindfulness, we have to pause. We have to pause and just be in those moments. And I catch myself even now, like eating with mom, and I'm like, I'm on my phone looking at something, and I feel bad because we're talking, and I'm like, oh, let me put this away. You know what I mean? You know, because we're talking, and that just is
Yeah,
kind of like,
I
or
know.
just the other night we were eating out with Jeanette and family, and none of us were on our phones. It was so good.
Oh,
We were all
that's so nice.
talking. Yeah, we were all talking, having a good time, very good. Very good.
I found that, okay, so I ran across a couple of videos, while I was, scrolling YouTube, where these moms have a basket next to them, or next to them. And before you can get a plate of food to sit at the family table, you have to put in your electronics,
I love
like your
that.
phone or your, iPads or
Yeah.
whatever device that you have.
Yeah.
So even the dad has to do it, though he's reluctant, but the dads have to do it too. That is family time. I think that's an
That's
awesome thing.
I
I
love
think
that.
that is
I
so
love that.
good.
Yeah.
That
I
way,
love that.
you're having your time. So I like when my daughter comes home, I kind of cringe because she goes, "Is there anything you need? Is there anything I can do? Is there anything, blah, blah, blah." I mean, because she's in a hurry to get upstairs and get her Alexa on and start dancing. Like that's her number one.
Yeah.
Okay. It's more like, oh, and then she'll come down and she says, "I love you." But that is the only interaction I have with her. I'm like, where, hey, and then the next thing you know, she's probably gonna be 18 and leaving the house because she's already feeling like, well, I didn't even get to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know?
I think that's this generation too. I hate to say it, but
No, for
that's this
sure.
generation of kids. I mean, it's so sad. It is, because like you really want that time, and I mean, right now they don't see that as an important thing, and then later they will.
Oh,
Um,
I know. I
but it's some of
know.
those things right now that you wish they would be like mindful of right now with
Yes. The
life
only thing she's
here. Like,
mindful of right now is, like, becoming a 16-year-old and going to her prom.
of course, that's 100% normal. Like she is.
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to find mindful teenagers right now.
Yes, I agree, I agree, I agree.
But I think also though, if parents do like you said with the basket idea and this
Mhm.
25/5, whatever works for your family, I think there's potential for them to be mindful,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
I think.
So
I'm
let's
gonna
talk
keep
about
faith
a
in that.
yeah,
I'm
right.
keeping faith in that.
So let's talk about a few things that, that we could do to create mindful moments in every day. Okay?
Okay.
So, um one of those things that we could do is sipping your morning coffee with gratitude. Or just like Jamie does, she keeps a gratitude journal.
I do.
And so she'll write in that. And you know what, you guys? I think that meditation and mindfulness is actually getting you into that state where you are focused. Okay. So even
Yeah.
knitting, you know,
Crocheting. I love to, like,
yes.
I started, y'all, and I get one line like this, and I watched YouTube to try to figure out how to get to the next hook link or whatever they call it for the next row. I have not mastered that part yet, but I was able to crochet, and it felt so good to just sit and crochet that one string. I know that
And
sounds
that's it,
crazy.
you're just, like, meditating on that and just working on that, and that's it. That's what
Yes,
you're pulling your focus in, and that is a form of
yes,
meditation, you guys.
yes, yes.
So,
I love
even
that.
those people who are, like, in like, artists who love to paint and stuff like that, they're in like, you can say, "Oh, yeah, they're in their groove right now, they're in their,"
Yeah,
that is their meditation, that
yeah,
is their
true,
mindfulness. They are
true.
there and they are set.
Yeah,
You
yep,
know what I
that's
mean?
true. Yep.
Another thing that you could do is, taking a nature walk and noticing everything about nature. That, I love going outside, especially on a beautiful day when it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. And you're just
Mhm.
out there amongst the green I mean, I'm still in awe. I've been here in Georgia for almost 25 years. And I am still in awe of this state because of the luscious greenery around here, the mountains in the background. I mean, it is absolutely breathtaking. And then when I'm there, you know, um, if I'm up in the mountains or down at the lake or something, I will just sit there and just watch everything.
Yeah,
That is, that to me, like last year, that's all I did. I sat out on a dock on a chair and just watched the river go by. And it was
yeah. Ugh,
just amazing, and
that's
that was
how
my time to be
that's how
still.
Breckenridge is, Breckenridge, Colorado. Shout out to Breckenridge, Colorado. I love your
Ugh,
I love your town, but I can't afford to live there. But it is like that. There's so much. I don't ever go outside as that much in, I think, my life on vacation until you go there. It is so beautiful, but I do that same thing and take pictures of random stuff that just I look back and I'm like, "Oh, I remember that's beautiful, beautiful."
mhm. And all those, you can actually practice this by yourself, you can practice this with your family.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of scriptures that encourage stillness. Psalms 46:10, "Be still and know that I am God," is one of
Mhm.
them. Isaiah 26:3, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast." And Matthew 6:6, "Go into your room, close the door, and pray." I really admire women who actually make their closets into a prayer room. I think that is just amazing.
Mhm. Yep.
So, because I watched, oh, what was that movie? And it was a book too. Um, I can't remember what it was, but it was about um, a woman who wanted to pray, but wanted that stillness and wanted to be in her element, but also she wanted to like fervently to pray,
Mhm.
um, and call out to God. Whatever she wanted to do, she could do it in that room
In that
and
room.
just, yeah, worship and just pray and she would
Yeah,
write her prayers down on a sticky and put them up on the wall, and just even looking at that piece of paper and meditating on that piece of paper and praying about what's on that piece of paper is perfect mindfulness and meditation.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I really commend women who
Ooh,
actually can make their closet into something like that, or their
mm,
little spare room, or something, just a tiny room that you have, or whatever. I think
yeah,
that I think that shows, I don't know, just steadfastness. I mean, just
yeah. Some people too, though, if you pay attention to social media, some people, I love the closet idea because I feel like it's right here in
Mhm.
your house, whatever. But I notice some people are even in their vehicles, in their cars, giving that um, prayer to someone else and saying things. It's just wherever
Mhm.
it hits you, that is one of those kind of places that you can capture that moment and do it. I've seen people even in their cars, um,
Yes.
you know, find a way to do that. So
I
I
swear
love
that
that. I love that.
movie, and it's the book is by Priscilla. Y'all, it just escapes me, but
It does, because I feel like you talked about it with me personally on the phone.
yes, but
Um,
but it was just something that the prayer room.
that's okay.
The
Yeah,
prayer room, that is what it is. And that is a good book, but the movie, oh my goodness, is moving.
okay,
Holy cow. It is
yeah.
so moving.
And as an
So
English teacher, y'all, the book is the book is better, but go ahead.
to me, the books are always better,
Yeah.
because the movie improvises off the books,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So even the Harry Potter series, I hate to tell you guys, the books were better.
Oh, yeah, most of the time, you'll find the book is always better. I'd
Yeah.
say 99%, but that's a whole other podcast that I could talk about for
Yep,
30 minutes.
sure is. But this one, still, we're at that point where, just us getting our day together, or even just to get enough courage to breathe in what,
Yeah.
we need, to be able to slow down and recognize that we need that time, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Um, let's see. So we're on to let's doing this practice, this 4-7 breath for,
Okay.
and you know what? Let's do this challenge. Once we get this out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and do this together, you guys. But I will encourage you and I will challenge you to do this for 1 week. Okay. 1 week.
Okay.
So, and I wrote it, I put it in the comments, Andrew Wheel 478.
Okay.
The breath is for, let's do this for 1 week, once a day, even twice a day. You can do this. I mean, and
Mhm.
it's going to be great.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and take a deep breath for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and let out for 8. Okay. Do it again. One more time. Okay.
Okay, ready?
4, and then hold. Sorry. And then let out.
Okay.
Okay.
That was
So
2. Good
that is
job.
Yeah, so that is supposed to help you reset and release. So just try to practice that. Um, just
I
try to
like that.
practice that once a day for the next week and see how you do. If you
Yeah.
want to share any comments with us, please do that. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a
Yeah.
message on Facebook, tag us with your peaceful moment.
Yeah.
We
My
are here.
question is, when did you need to do the 4-7-8? Is it after, like, a staff meeting, or what is it after? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
is
that'd
it
be good.
I mean, just when did you do it, right?
Mhm.
It's kinda like, when did you have the, "Oh, I need to do the 4-7-8." You know? So, yeah, I'd like
Yes.
to know that too, like, when? When did
Oh,
it hit
that's
you to do it?
good. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I'd like that too. They're very
yeah,
good. That's it.
yeah,
That's a
let us
great touch
know.
point. Yeah, absolutely. Y'all let us know. Okay. So just remember you're allowed to slow down. You're allowed to breathe. You're allowed to rest in his presence also.
Yeah.
In anything that you have, I know it's so hard for us to give up, but giving things to God and just letting him be him will help in such a way. You're loved, you're unique, and um you're just his. And if you just give things over to him and breathe through the times, difficult times, you will get past it, I promise you.
Mhm.
So of course, we're on Facebook, you guys, Faith Love and Coffee. You're on YouTube, we're also on TikTok, Faith Love Coffee.
Yeah.
So y'all come and visit us. Y'all come and see us. Comment, ask questions. I just put that out to you. And don't forget about breathing this next week. And our next episode that's coming up, Jamie, what's our next episode?
Is it okay, oh, the labels we put on ourselves.
Yes.
Okay,
Y'all, this is big.
okay.
This is a big one.
Especially with mental health awareness.
Hmm.
I think a lot
And
of
it
us
is
put a lot
big.
more. Yeah,
Because this goes into negative self talk.
yeah,
Yeah, and how much we do that, and how much we put all these different labels on ourselves that we don't need to be putting on ourselves.
right.
So,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna talk about that, and we're gonna learn how to let those go, okay? So, until then, keep faith, spread love, and savor every sip of life. Until the next time, y'all take care and keep brewing positivity.
I only laugh because you say "y'all." You still sound like
Y'all,
a Texan.
hey, again, I'm Texas. Y'all see y'all the next time.
See y'all later.
All right, bye now.